Welcome everyone in this lecture of biophysics. This particular lecture is actually the continuation of the earlier lecture in which we have derived the probability distribution function for the end-to-end distance of a freely jointed chain. So, we derived this particular formula. Now, in this lecture, what I will show, that is this formula that was derived, that is actually for the one dimensional case. Now, the same type of formula that I will discuss in this lecture, that can be that is for three dimensional case. So, this particular formula given in equation 8.16, it is for the one dimensional case. So, how this formula will look like when it is in three dimensional case. So, that I will discuss now. Now, the result derived above is a special case of the so called central limit theorem in mathematics, which is arguably the most important result of probability theory. In a nutshell, it states that the probability distribution of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus in this way up to xn, which is a sum of identically distributed independent random variables, is Gaussian in the limit of large n, as long as the mean and variance of each individual xi are finite. So, what is actually the central limit theorem? The central limit theorem states that, suppose xi, what is xi? Xi are suppose identically distributed independent random variables. Now, what is sum of xi? So, sum of xi is like this, that is x1 plus x2 plus dot 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 in this way up to xn. Now, if n is very large, capital N, that is the number of steps is very large, then what will happen? Then in that case the distribution will be Gaussian in nature. The distribution will be Gaussian in nature, but there is a condition, that is it should be large n, as long as the mean and variance of each individual xi are finite. So, mean and variance of each individual xi, that should be finite. So, these are the conditions, and this particular distribution of the random variables will be Gaussian in nature. Since the individual displacements of the random walker satisfy this condition, it immediately follows that for a large number of steps capital N, the total displacement R is Gaussian distributed. We have already defined, that is what do you mean by R? R is the end-to-end distance. Now, R is also the variables, random variables, like this given x1 plus x2 in this way. So, what happens in case of random walk model, the values of R also distributed in Gaussian nature. Why it is so? Because since the individual displacements of the random walker satisfy the condition stated here. For example, as long as mean and variance of each individual xi are finite and capital N should be large. So, in case of random walk model, the individual displacement satisfy these condition. It immediately follows that for a large number of steps capital N, the total displacement capital R, that should also be Gaussian distributed as per the central limit theorem, and with the mean R is equal to 0, that is average of R is equal to 0, and variance R square, that is equal to N square. Note that this holds regardless of whether the walk is executed in 1, 2 or 3 dimensions. So, this particular things, that is mean R is equal to 0 and R square is equal to N square, that should hold independent of the dimension concerned, that is it should be hold in both 1, 2 or 3 dimensions, and independent of the allowed angles between the subsequent steps of the walk. as long as each steps is taken independently of the previous one. So the angle between the steps does not matter, and this particular formula, that is mean of r is equal to 0 and average of r square is equal to n square, should hold for 1, 2 as well as 3 dimensions. Now it can be shown that is for a Gaussian distribution, in case of Gaussian distribution, that is average of r is equal to 0 and average of r square is equal to n square. Actually these two proofs we have already done when we have learned the probability theory. So in that particular theory we have already derived these two formulas, that is in case of Gaussian distribution, mean r is equal to 0 and average of r square is equal to n square. Now in this particular lecture we will use these particular formulas only. Here we make use of this result to derive the large n distribution for the end-to-end distance of a 3-dimensional random walk. Now since the mean is 0, the distribution is of the form PRN is equal to n e to the power minus kr square. You see that this form is similar to this form, because as it is 3-dimensional, so the prefactor structure of the prefactor which was in case of 1 dimension, this one, that will be different, and in the exponential term also, apart from the term r square, the multiplied factor with r square, that will be a little bit different. So we are assuming that is the 3-dimensional form of the probability distribution will be like this, that is here n and k, they are some constant. So the distribution will be Gaussian, but these particular constants will be different. Now we can determine these constants by using two particular formula. So we will use two different identities, namely the first identity is for the normalization, as it is a probability distribution and we know that probability distribution is normalized. So as it is in 3 dimension, so you see that is we have used triple integration. The range of the integration is minus infinity to plus infinity, and this is probability distribution PR, and this is over a volume element dq bar. So probability distribution over a volume element, that should be 1. This is for the normalization condition. And there is another identity which is the identity for the variance. So if we calculate r square into PRN into d cube r, and that should give you n into a square, because we have already said that is average of r square is equal to n square variance, where the value of the variance is n square. So this particular integration should result the value n square, that is the identity for the variance. Since both integrands are functions of r square, we can transform the volume integral in both cases to an integral over spherical cells of radius r. So the term d cube r, that can be replaced as a spherical cell. So here we have used the spherical cell, that is 4 pi r square dr, whose limit is from 0 to infinity, and in the second case also we have replaced d cube r with a spherical cell. So these two integration we can perform with ease, that is we will use the Gaussian integral formula. So using Gaussian integral formula in both equations of equation number 8.19, you see that is how we have used the Gaussian integral formula for evaluating these two integrations. So here what I will get, that is the result of the first integration, so that should give you 1, and this particular integration, that is n square. So thereby we can get the values of the constants. For example, you see we have just used these two particular formulas, and we can divide the second equation of 8.20 by the first equation. So if we divide in that way, then what I will get, that is the value of k, that is 3 by 2 n square. So in this way we can calculate the values of the constants k and n. Now, if we substitute the values of the constants k and n using, that is, the values of k in 8.21 and the values of n in 8.22, the n value is a normalization constant. So, using these particular values, and if we substitute these values in this two equation, that is in the first equation 8.17, so which was the form of the Gaussian distribution in three-dimensional case. So, if we substitute the values of n and k here, then we will get the exact form, that is this one, that is PRN, that should be equal to this one, that is 3 by 2 pi n square to the power 3 by 2 to the power minus 3 r square by 2 n square. So, this is the three-dimensional random walk with n Kahn segments of length a. So, the segments of the polymer, we also say them as Kahn segments. So, if the Kahn segments, we can divide the polymer with n Kahn segments with each of length a, then the distribution, the three-dimensional random walk distribution is like this. This one is a formula. Note that PRN has units of inverse volume. So, it has the units of inverse volume or concentration, and has an intuitive interpretation as the concentration of one end of the random walk polymer at position r in the vicinity of the other end. Furthermore, PRN is sharply peaked at r is equal to 0. This particular sharp peak at r equal to 0 I have already discussed in the earlier lectures. There I have shown you a graph regarding the probability distribution. I can again show you that particular graph. You can see that this is the graph. So, this graph is probability versus capital R, that means the end to end distance. So, you see that when r is equal to 0, the value of the probability is very high. So, what is the significance of this particular graph? So, you see that this property underlies the elasticity of polymer chains. Namely, if you imagine stretching a polymer, suppose you are stretching a polymer so that the capital R is non-zero, that is you are deforming the polymer such a way that is the end to end distance is non-zero. Then upon release, suppose now you are releasing the polymer, so upon release it will quickly find itself in the position r is equal to 0. So, it will redistribute itself so that the end to end distance r is equal to 0. Why? Because the nature of the probability distribution, you have seen that when r is equal to 0, the value of the probability is very high. That means the polymer tends to remain in that state, and it tries to remain in that state solely by virtue of this being a much more likely state. Note that this is not the result of a physical force such as the electric force, which is ultimately responsible for the elastic properties of the crystals, but it is purely a result of statistics. It is a result of statistics. We can say that it is the law of the nature, but there is no other type of force behind it. So, as such, it is like the case of the pressure of an ideal gas, another example of an entropic force. So, this is the law of the statistics through which the polymer remains in a particular state, and that state is r is equal to 0. Now, with those results, what we can do, we can estimate the end to end probability for the E. coli genome. One interesting application of these ideas that so far we have discussed can be explored more to study the structure of the DNA. The circular DNA associated with an E. coli cell is roughly 5 million base pairs long. However, an open DNA chain of the same size can be modeled as a random walk of roughly capital N is equal to 15,000 steps, since the Kahn length, the length of the rigid segments in the chain model. So, what is Kahn length? Kahn length is known as the length of the rigid segments in the chain model of DNA. So since the Kahn length for bare DNA is roughly 300 base pair. So the if we consider that the DNA chain, if the DNA chain that is open, that is not closed, but if we consider the DNA chain is open, and we can think that is that DNA chain is composed of some rigid chain like structure, and each of the rigid segment, which is known as a Kahn length, is of 300 base pair. And if each of the rigid segment is of 300 base pair, then the whole length of the DNA that can be considered as capital N is equal to 15,000 steps of the Kahn length. The probability that the end-to-end distance is 0, that is r is equal to 0, for a one-dimensional walk. For a one-dimensional walk of these many steps can be estimated from equation 8.15. 8.15 means that is the previously discussed model, that is when we considered the random walk as a purely one-dimensional model, then this particular value of the probability we have calculated. So this is the probability p is equal to 2 divided by 2 pi n e to the power minus r square by 2 n square. Now if we put r is equal to 0, then what will happen, that is this particular value exponential parameter will be 1. So only you will obtain the prefactor, that is 2 divided by root over 2 pi capital N. Now capital N is 15,000 steps. So if we put the value 15,000 in equation 8.15, then you will obtain that the value of the probability is 7 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is the value of the probability. Now the probability that the value of the capital R is equal to 500 A. A is the length of the rigid segment, that is the Kahn length. So when you set that capital R is equal to 500 A, that means the value of the R is this one, then the value of the probability will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 6, which is calculated again from the same formula. So you see, when you are increasing the value of the R, the value of the probability decreases. You see here the order was 10 to the power minus 3, but here the order is 10 to the power minus 6. Now if we again the value of the R further, suppose capital R is equal to 1000 A, then the probability drops down to 2 into 10 to the power minus 17. So as discussed above, this overwhelming probability that R is close to 0 is responsible for the elastic response of the polymer chains due to an applied load. So I hope you have understood this particular topics of the lecture, and the content of the lecture has been taken from the textbook Physical Biology of the Cell, written by Rob Phillips and others, and I will request the viewers to go through this textbook for further understanding regarding these concepts, and I also thank you for listening my lecture.